Okay, good. Okay, good. So that looks a bit better. So let's have a pop out for these comments. We'll do that just there. Make them quite big. So hopefully, let's make them quite wide. That's good. Okay, so we can stick. Oh, actually, let's not make them too wide. Let's stick them there, and do the quick lunchtime live. No, I don't want it massive. Good stuff. Lunchtime live in the house. Let's update this. Oh, it is working. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Good stuff indeedy. Pop that there. And 2 till 2:30. Is 16k a good deposit? Saved up at 21. So John, it's what that creates in terms of a percentage deposit. If that is 5% deposit, then yeah, it could work. If you want the best choices and you're looking at 10% deposit, but yeah, 16k, obviously that's 10% of 160k purchase, so that could work. Bring you down a bit. So yeah, that could feasibly work. So it's either, is it true banks are offering 5.5 times income? Yes, it is true. So, there's also some offering 6 times income. It's all specific to your circumstances. But yeah, it is true. The general norm is 4.5 times your salary, but certain situations can get 6 or 5.5 times multiplications of your salary. So yes, it is true. Absolutely. Absolument. First time buyers getting 5.5, 6 times. Fully say your mortgage is. Say if you get a mortgage and then something happens to your job, what happens? So if you're currently in a mortgage, it's all been signed off, you're paying it, it's all active, then as long as you keep the payments going, then nothing happens. If it's during an application that you lose a job or you change a job, then that's where you have to tell them, and it will probably have an impact on the application. But yeah, you should be all right. But if you do get into difficulty, one of the key things to do is speak to your lender at the earliest opportunity. They will help you. They will be minded to assist you in a situation. They will have ways and means to be able to offer assistance. So yeah, the first thing to do in the slightest concern of difficulty is speak to your lender. Definitely. But if it's during an application, then yeah, you do have to declare it, because it will have quite an impact, I suspect, on an application. Get mortgage now or wait till this time next year? What do you reckon? What's going to be the benefit for waiting until this time next year? Granted, you might be able to save up a bit more deposit, but what's going to happen with house prices? What's going to happen with rates? So this whole waiting thing, it comes down to what are you waiting for? If there is a specific reason to wait, such as, I don't know, you're waiting for a sum of money, you're waiting for a bonus from work, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, it makes total sense. If it's just hypothetical waiting that you think rates are going to drop, or, I don't know, something else, then there's not real benefit to it, because you could be waiting a long time. Morning, Luke. Is it still morning? Yes, it is still morning. Just doing another little quick one, Luke. Why is it so much more buying a new build? Why it so much more buying a new build, not the house cost, but everything behind the scenes, solicitors, etc. You've got to pay solicitors if you buy a non-new build. I don't think it's any more expensive in terms of costs. You save on surveys because you don't need to survey a new build. So, thank you for your help yesterday. I got your email. Thank you. No problem at all. It's great to speak to you. No problem. Always here to help. Does it impact your offer? Does what impact your offer? just got, does it impact your offer? I'm not sure what the question is. I'm in the process of buying a new build, but the solicitors are charging more with it being new. They shouldn't be. There should be no difference. If anything, they should charge less because the new build packs, there'll be numerous. If you use the developer's solicitors, they should be quite used to it. There's no reason to charge more. How to become a good mortgage advisor transitioning from a banker to... just waiting to switch camera view. All it's going to show you is my microphone. Where's my button? Where's my fancy button? Desk view. There you go. You can just see the bottom of the microphone today. Nothing too exciting. Our rates likely to drop in November. So fixed rates, no. Base rate, probably. What does a solicitor do? They do all the conveyancing. They do all the legal checks. They update the deeds of the property. They put all that kind of stuff. So they do quite a lot, actually. Putting down 5% or 10% deposit, does it impact your offer or mortgage application? It will potentially impact your mortgage application because not every lender produces 95% mortgage products. You have to have a really pretty good credit history. But no, it won't alter your offer at all. You've got the deposit, you'll have the lending, so no, it doesn't alter your offer. Partner employed and a first-time buyer, and I'm self-employed. Okay, so you need accounts and tax returns to prove your income. Do you have to provide a copy of buildings insurance policy to the lender? No, not always. It is a requirement of any mortgage offer that you do get buildings insurance. The solicitor will probably ask to see proof of it, but not the lender. Son 21, want to buy first place but rent it out and stay home. Salary is 20, has 35k in cash. Is this possible? He needs a 25% deposit for a buy-to-let. If that 35k in cash, you say in cash, he's got to prove where he's got that deposit from. But if it's 25% of a buy-to-let purchase price, then yes, it is possible. But he will need that 25%. You can be a first-time buyer, first-time landlord. Definitely. It will be the application will be assessed on his circumstances, though. But yeah, you can do that. Rate ends in December. Inheritance due in March. When going to pay off mortgage, what do we do in December and March? There are options. The worst thing to do will be to go on the lender's standard variable rate because that will cost you a lot of money. So yeah, I would. You need to speak to a mortgage broker to come up with the best solution for you. There are options though. Don't mind. How much did you put down on your house? Very different because we had proceeds of sale. We made big profit on our first house, so we put it down. A friend of mine got a problem with the end terms mortgage. He retired. Okay. My credit is excellent. My husband's is very poor. Can it affect our lending? Yes, the lenders will go off the worst case scenario. Celeste Solicitor contacted my solicitor. They have opened a file to sell. How long till contracts? You can't say. It depends on many different things. Can you remortgage on a debt management plan? You can do as long as you've been 12 months in it and you've kept up the payments on it. You will have a slightly reduced choice of lenders, but there are ones that will do that. But like I say, you've got to be in it for 12 months and not have had any credit issues with it. What's your thoughts on shared ownership? How long have we got? Some people, shared ownership's the only option to go into the housing ladder. Depends what they're looking to do, what strategy they've got. Are they looking to buy the shared ownership and then increase the share as time goes on? Or buy it and then sell it at a later date to move on to maybe more mainstream? Three main costs you've got to think about with shared ownership: the mortgage, the rent, and the service charge. Service charge is the one that tends to catch people out because it does go up and up and up. And there's not a lot you can do about it. Mortgages, you can obviously shop around to a degree. Rent can go up. Service charge can go up, so just be aware of those. If your houses keep increasing, wouldn't it be impossible to get a house? In theory, if wages didn't increase, so that's the balance. You've got to see how it goes. At some point, you're going to think, well, I don't know, actually, inheritances from loved ones, gifts from mum and dad, is that going to continue to allow people to get the deposits? But yeah, houses, well, wages have to keep up, essentially. When remortgaging a buy-to-let, do lenders still take into account your car finance and loan? Potentially, but more often than not, it will be based on the rental income of the property. If that doesn't cut it in terms of the cover ratio they need to apply, then they will look at your circumstances. It's called top slicing. Is it a good time to get a mortgage? If you want to buy a house, you need a mortgage, in theory, unless you buy for cash. So, yeah. Are interest rates still going up? Yes, I've had TSB email today to say their rates are going up. But on the flip side of that, NatWest emailed late last night to say they're reducing their rates. NatWest did increase a week or two ago, so whether they're just now backing that out. I think we're at a point where lenders are going to start getting to the point of using rates increases and decreases to control the flow of new business. Of course, if you put your rates up, you're potentially going to slow down new business applications. And on the flip of that, if you put them down, you might get an influx of new business applications. So there's an element of that going on. If trying to sell the house when needed to remortgage, what's your advice, Tracker? I don't know. It depends on your individual circumstances. We can't give advice on TikTok. We need to know the full picture, and we'd only know that if you're a client. So, yeah, let me just click back onto this. Do your housing benefits stop when you buy a house? I don't know. Speak to DWP. One thing for certain is that your housing benefits can't be used as income when buying a house. How many months pay slips do I need to provide first-time buyer? 3 months. If you're an permanent employed. If you're a contractor, you'll need 12 months. If you're on a 0-hour contract, you'll need 12 months. Agency worker, 12 months. But generally 3 months. 3 months bank statements, 3 months pay slips. And let me just accept this meeting invite. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for the follows. Very much appreciate that. Always appreciated. If anyone does want to get in touch and have a one-to-one call, then it says up there. Oh, where is it? Up there. So just send us your name, number, and email address in a message, and someone will get in touch to book in a suitable time for a call. Heard Halifax are now doing 6 times earning. Okay for single applicants and not new-time buyer. And not first-time buyer. They're not doing... Halifax aren't doing 6. They're doing 5.5. It's okay for a single applicant. You need to... you need to earn over a certain threshold. And it's for first-time buyers. How do you put that block? What? Huh? Biggest advice for first-time buyers, go to our website, Mellow Financial, and download our free first-time buyers guide that I've written that. There's a bit of advice in there. It tells you about the process. And yeah, it will help you out. Or just book in a call and we'll talk you through the whole process and explore how much you can borrow. And yeah, assess your situation. Do you provide commercial mortgages? We don't, but we can certainly put you through to a company within the group who can. Do providers look back several years into your banking history? They look back at 6 months of your credit history, 6 years of your credit history, 3 months bank statements. Can you get a mortgage on apprenticeship? Yes, you can. As long as you've got pay slips to prove your income. Best broker has been able to get the best my broker has been able to get is Pepper Money at 6.8. Okay, so there's certain reasons why they're going to Pepper. Suggest to me there might be some credit issues. But yeah, best way to contact us, send us a message. Or there is a link in the TikTok bio where you can just go and book a call straight into the diaries. Thanks so much. I'm a new time buyer, but want to know it's in the application. What's the threshold? You what? Can you buy a property at auction with a mortgage? You can do. We don't do it due to the absolute pain in the backside it is. You might want to get a bridging loan for that. Get a bridging loan because otherwise, when you buy through auction, you need to pay your deposit there and then. you need to proceed to exchange your contracts in 28 days and then complete in 52. That's a big ask. So, I mean, you can do. It's just a lot of stress. We would probably charge a higher fee for it. If we started doing it, we'd probably charge a higher fee. But we don't do it at the moment. It's something we probably will start doing relatively soon now. We've got a new advisor coming on board who's very adept in doing that. What credit score do you recommend having? What credit score is irrelevant. It's the content of your credit history. Why do different lenders offer different rates if the details don't change? Because they all have different products, different rates. It's a marketplace. It's a competitive market. It's like, why do insurers offer different prices for insurance? Why do shops sell things at different prices? It's just their their business. Content as in what you spend. What's going on out here? No, content as in the content of your credit history, your whole credit history of six years. Where are you based? So I'm in Bristol. We've got other advisors all over the place, but we do everything online. Everything's done remotely. So we can work with anyone in the UK, basically, wherever they are. Do lenders consider new mortgages for people in their 50s? Yes, they do. Yep. The only kind of thing that's going to limit you if you're in your 50s is the length of time you can have the mortgage over, and how long you've got viable income for. But yeah, you can certainly get a mortgage in your 50s, no problem. Can you explain bridging loans? Are they a good idea? Bridging loans are designed to bridge a short-term gap. They're not a sustainable way of lending. They will only be valid for about 12 or 24 months, and you have to have an exit strategy from them when you take them out. They can be expensive. The longer you have them, they are expensive, but they literally are designed just to plug a gap. Say, for example, you wanted to buy a house which didn't have a bathroom and a kitchen. That means you wouldn't be able to get a mainstream mortgage on it. So what you could do is take out a bridging loan to buy the property, do it up, put the kitchen in, put the bathroom in, and then remortgage to a mainstream lender to pay off the bridging loan. And generally that's how it works. Bridging loan, very short term. I did an latest. I don't understand that. Can I increase my can I increase my income? They won't know the lender. I don't know what you're asking. I need to privately rent while starting buying process. Is buying process still straightforward? If you're renting and buying, yeah, that's fine. Is it still beneficial becoming a new landlord? If you want to become a landlord and the numbers work for you, then fine. Remember, I'm a mortgage advisor. I'm not an IFA. I'm not a debt consultant or credit file consultant. So I can literally just give you pointers on mortgages. Whether it's good to become a landlord or not, it's probably up to you and your numbers. If you can make it work on the numbers, then fine. I personally wouldn't want to be a landlord due to the stress of it all. So, yeah. Third day waiting for mortgage valuation, how long does it usually take? Depends on the lender. Depends, they've got to get access to the property sometimes to do a valuation. If they're doing an in-person valuation, they need to get access to the property. So, who knows? Depends how amenable the estate agents are, or if there's tenants in there, for example, they've got to work around that. How long does searches take for a property? That's a question for a solicitor. And the answer is very much varies due to speed of responses and that kind of thing. Hi, will it affect me if I voluntarily terminate my finance car? No. If anything, it'll be positive because you are ending that agreement and therefore it won't be a committed expenditure on your credit file anymore, freeing up some funds. So yeah, the less committed expenditure you've got, the better. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Oh, I can't. Maybe I should step back a bit. did a NatWest AIP, it came back as a no. Does mean I wouldn't get a mortgage from anyone? No, it just means you've approached the wrong lender. Go through a mortgage broker. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. Seems like there's no lenders that do 5% mortgage for a new build. There are. Why does buying a house in England take so long? We've completed in 6 weeks in Scotland. It's the legals that takes the longest. Need to change mortgage in March. What's the best rate at the minute? I don't know, because I don't know your situation at all. If you book in a call, we'll be able to look at it with you and work out your best options. If you buy a car outright, would it still be a committed expenditure? No, because you bought it. It's not an ongoing payment you have to pay back. If a mortgage offer was provided and you exchanged 3 months down the line, can you change the rate? As long as you've not completed, as long as it's within sort of before 2 weeks of completion, you should be able to change it. Depends on the lender whether they'll want a new application or whether they'll change the product. We are partners in family business that we live in a house to rent, so to speak. What's your gut feeling? What's going to happen regarding the budget and stamp duty? Well, who knows? Because we constantly hear about this black hole. So, yeah, how true is that? Any further reductions in stamp duty or keeping the thresholds where they are needs to be funded. So if there's no funding, I don't know. You can't tell. Can you ever trust anything a politician says? So you can't gauge it. It hits straightforward to is it straightforward to remortgage? Not in every case. I mean, it depends on your situation. If you've got credit issues, if you've changes in income, that kind of stuff, it might be. But speak to a broker and it would all be assessed, and then your best course of action will be discussed with you. I thought it would affect my credit score as I've ended an agreement early. So, credit score is irrelevant. Credit score is irrelevant for when you get a mortgage. It's the content of your credit history, your credit file that is important. If you want a free look at your credit file, there's a link in my TikTok bio, which will get you a free Check My File report. So go in there and have a look, and that will show you the content of your credit file, and it show you if there's any issues on there. Basically, you want it showing all green on the ticks. If there's any other colours other than green, then you have issues on your credit file. How to get cash back when applying for a mortgage if the new home has an NG rating of B. The lender told us to speak to the solicitors. Yes, because cash back will be paid to the solicitors. It's then up to them to pay it to you. Just booked a call with you as I spoke to several mortgage brokers and they don't know any. Huh. All right, good stuff. All right, there should be some. As long as it's not a new build flat. I'm surprised you haven't found anyone to do it. I can think of a couple off the top of my head. Is it normal to be charged additional if you change your mind and want a maximum after mortgage offer? Don't understand what you're asking, sorry. Can you rephrase it? What tips do I need to keep in mind if looking to buy a house around 2 and 3 years? Save for a deposit. Make sure your credit file is impeccable as it can be. As impeccable as it can be. So yeah. Don't max out credit cards. I recently applied for a CC. How long will that affect me? What's a CC? Credit card? Shouldn't affect you. If there's a balance on the credit card, that will affect your affordability. Ooh. If my partner has bad credit file, but mine is good, is it even worth trying to get a mortgage? Not a 5% one, no. They will go on the worst case scenario, and if there's any issues on a credit file, 5% is probably out of reach. What is equity in the property? It's how much of the property you actually own. Can you get a mortgage if you're self-employed? Yes. You just need to prove your income, and you do that by providing accounts and tax returns that are published with HMRC. When remortgaging, do you have to pay for a new survey and things to be done? No, not a new survey. No. You will potentially have solicitor fees to pay because they obviously need to update the different lenders' interest on the property. But no, some lenders will include the free legals as part of it. Can you get a mortgage on PIP? Yeah, PIP can be included as income. Is it true that previous transactions are reviewed on statements such as cash withdrawals and gambling? Yes. When does a lender do their survey? Before or after mortgage offer? Before. And it's a valuation they will do. They will not do a survey, they will do a valuation. What the interest rates now roughly and what they'll be in a year? I can't tell you either because there's thousands of interest rates and in a year it's literally a guess. Can you get a mortgage with bad credit file with 20% deposit? So bad credit file is very vague. I need to know the specifics. What is on the credit file that's making it bad? And then that will say whether you can get a mortgage or not. Can you get a mortgage in just my name but take mine and my partner's income into consideration? Not really. What are the main types of transactions to avoid and how far? 3 months pay slips, 3 months bank statements are looked at. Sorry, I think they haven't found any because I'm after a mortgage for 6 times my salary with 5% deposit. Depends how much your salary is. If you're a single applicant, you need to earn over 30,000 to get access to 6 times your income. How many hours do I need to be on how many hours do I need to be on as a single parent to apply for a mortgage or council house? It's not hours, it's income. How long do things usually affect your credit file? 6 years. What is the interest rates now roughly? I've answered that. There's thousands of interest rates. Okay, so if you've got over 30k, you can get 6 times your income, 5% deposit. Let me just very quickly, there's one lender that will do that. I'm just going to look at their criteria for you. Products, first time buyers, so it's going to be this one. So let's have a look. Loan to value. Yeah, so new build house, 6 times income. You're looking at 90% loan to value. So that lender is out. So you won't be able to get 6 times your income for new build if you're specifically looking for 5% deposit and 6 times your income. Nationwide are the only ones that do 6 times your income. So if you're adamant that that's what you need, yeah, that's where the struggle is. Oh, I've lost my comments. Where are the comments gone? There they are. Could I get a loan to make it? No, you can't get a... There's only one lender that will allow that, and it'll be viewed as a committed expenditure and therefore reduce the amount you can borrow. Clean credit file for 2 years, but have missed payments before, likelihood of acceptance. If it's just missed payments, there should be a home for that, yeah. Speak to a broker with access to the whole of market, and then you should be all right. Can I get a mortgage on maternity leave? Yes. How about buy to let? How much do you need? You need a 25% deposit. If you pay a higher deposit, can you get lower interest rate? Generally, yes. 2.75 rate in November 25. What do you think? No. No. Oh, right. Is it nearly lunchtime? Nearly lunchtime. I've got to go to lunch because I've got calls this afternoon. Parents' evening this evening as well. First time buyer with a deposit 50k, but the credit score is low. Can I get a loan? Again, it depends on the specifics of the credit file. Credit score is irrelevant. I need to know what's causing the low credit score. So it's the content of your credit file for the last 6 years. Get a check my file report. There's a link for a free one in my TikTok bio. Is there a current base rate of interest? Bank of England base rate is 5%, but base rate and fixed rates aren't directly linked. How much do I need to earn per month a year to apply for a mortgage? You don't. You can borrow a percentage of multiplication of your income. What do you think interest rate would be November 25? Again, it's just a guess. No, I'm not guessing. Nobody knows. How much are the rates expected to drop in the next 2 months? They're not. We're seeing increases on fixed rates at the moment. Increases, not drops. The only thing I think people are expecting is a slight decrease in the Bank of England base rate in November. But that won't necessarily affect fixed rates. That's a good point there. We'll have to wait for budget and the USA election. Yeah, so that's coming into it as well. Even though it's not us, the election in the USA could have an impact on rates. I think the budget is what's causing the uncertainty in a fixed rate market at the moment. That's why we're seeing rates increase, because lenders and markets are a little bit worried. They don't know what's going to happen. So that's why it's going up. There might be a positive reaction to the budget, and they'll come down again. Or there might be a totally negative reaction like there was to Liz Truss's budget, where rates just went through the roof. So, lock in a rate now if you're looking, and you will be protected from any increases. But if they go down, your broker will be able to move it before completion. I need to remortgage renewal. I need a mortgage renewal in April 25, but change from being employed to a director. You won't be able to remortgage then. You'll only be stuck with a product transfer. We might be okay if Trump comes in. Really? You seriously think Trump's going to be good for UK-America relations and trade? Crikey. Are there any useful online resources used just for general guidance around mortgages? No, not necessarily. You can get our first time buyer guide from the website. It's free to download that. Is it better to get a fixed or variable? Depends on your situation. It's all determined by your individual situation and circumstances. I think he will be good on stopping wars, and that's what we need. But it'll be shocking for trade, so that's not what we need. I don't think he'll stop wars. Trade is the important thing. First time buyer, 3 or 6 months. 3 months pay slips, first time buyer. Thanks for... it's going to be... Parents' evening is going to be absolutely fine. Yeah, we've got a good one there. She's all right. Right then, I think I'm going to go and grab some lunch. Thank you for your questions. Seeing a lot of base rate 2.95 by the end of 2025. Thoughts? It's all speculation. Anything can happen in the world. I would urge caution. I wouldn't bet your house on it, but I'd urge caution. We will only know when the rates change. That's a big jump from where we are now, though. That's potentially a 3 and a bit % drop in base rate. That's gonna be a drop. It's now a good time to buy, or better to wait. What are you waiting for? The longer you wait, you might be waiting for something that might not happen. That's the thing. And also, if the economy starts picking up, things come back positively, house prices could start increasing. So anyway, I've got to jump. So I will see you next time. If you want to get in touch, then just send a message with your name, number, of email address in messages, and someone will get back to you to book in a call. Or you can just book in a call using the link in the TikTok bio. There is a pinned video that tells you how to do it. But for now, I thank you for your questions. Don't forget to follow. Hit the follow button up about there. And yeah, follow away. And I will see you next time. But I thank you for your